So this is eggs in purgatory on the fire pit. I'm going to start with some rapeseed oil. Pan is already nice and hot. Just going to add onion, garlic and chilli. Well, it's quite hot in there. Just going to give it a couple of moments. Get the garlic released into the oil. Now I'm going to go in with the chopped tomatoes. I've used about 4 tomatoes here. I'm just going to let them tomatoes now reduce down, and then I'm going to add 1 whole tin of chopped tomatoes as well. Okay, tomatoes have been going for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. As I said, it's quite hot in there, so I think it's time now. I'm going to add the tin of tomatoes. Now I'm just going to work them in. I'll just let them develop for a few minutes before I go in with the seasonings. See the green chilli in there, plenty of garlic. It's going to be lovely rich tomato flavour, but we will have to balance it. Some seasonings, which I'll go through in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to add some tomato puree. And now I'm going to add in the seasonings. I'm going to start with a bit of bouillon. Make good vegetable stock out of this, but I'm just putting it direct in granule form as the powder, not being too specific. That bouillon is still. And next I'm going to go for balsamic. Along with some sugar, brown sugar. Can use a bit more bouillon at the end of mine. It's just a little bit hard, but I think I got enough out of it. Now I'm just going to let them all come together. One more thing I almost forgot was the Worcestershire sauce made with anchovy, so lots of salt in that to balance the tomato. Love Worcestershire sauce. It's great, all these type of dishes. Give all that a stir about. So the colour's changing from that bright red to a bit deeper red with the balsamic and the Worcestershire sauce. Just gonna add all them levels of flavour to balance out the tomatoes and the acidic nature of them. So at this point, I like to add some mixed herbs. Don't put them in too early. As you can see, there's still excellent heat out of this, so just have to bear that in mind with the timings. If it gets too hot and I want to cool down, I'll just take it off the heat. On your conventional stove, you of course just lower down the gas, but when you're cooking with the fire, do things a bit differently. I'll actually just move it off to one of the cooler zones out here, just to let it relax. Okay, so I've just tasted this. I think it needs a little bit of salt. It's quite sharp. There's definitely a lot of spice in it. The two chilies, the green and red, can be really tasted in it. Nice and spicy, which is good. That's what I wanted. So just put that salt in there and a little pepper. Apologise about the noise. We are not too far from a busy national road, so there's trucks, tractors, everything going past. So I'm going to create a little pocket of space here. I'm going to pop in the first egg. And now the second. Number 3. And the last one. 4 eggs is good for 2 people sharing. So them eggs are nicely cooked there now. I'm just going to take this off the heat and let it rest. Now I'm going to use some Parmesan. Some basil, a bit more Parmesan, and the last bit then, a crack of pepper and some salt. And the idea is you let this rest, the tomato all settle down, bring it to the table with some sourdough bread and just scoop away, get that egg, tomato, Parmesan, salt, pepper, loads of heat from the chili, really, really nice. that was my eggs in purgatory on the Flames Cove fire pit. It's really simple. I know there's no list of ingredients at the beginning, but that's because you don't need to be very specific. Basically, I used 4 tomatoes that I had in the fridge and a tin of chopped tomatoes. That is the basis of it. About 4 cloves of garlic, 2 chilies, and you can mix and match. After that, you know, you need your dried herbs, Worcestershire sauce, balsamic, bit of brown sugar. Totally flexible on the quantities that you decide to use, and totally mix and match and go with the flow, freestyle, whatever you feel is right. But the basis is a tin of chopped tomatoes and some fresh tomatoes and your garlic, and go with it after that. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know by subscribing to the YouTube channel here for Gastronomy, and please head over to Instagram and check out the Gastronomy Instagram page as well and give it a follow. I'd love to hear your feedback. Thanks very much.